It's lunch date time, but it's business lunch. So this is what goes on behind the scenes of a business lunch, paid for by the business, where we discuss our portfolio. You ready?
Tax-free dollars, yeah. I got
Where are we going?
Indian food.
Indian food.
We're not afraid of curry for lunch.
Business lunch, let's go.
Today we need to talk about our portfolio of rentals. We usually have to do this like every other month, every month, depending. We have a lot of just like piddly little things to make decisions on, but we don't always go out and talk about our portfolio. You know, we have other businesses we run. We sometimes talk about the channel, sometimes we talk about podcast ideas, sometimes it's just like, you know, big idea brainstorming, and then I try and really be specific on what we spoke about. Sometimes we'll get a partnership offer from some dude, some girl, and then we'll go out and I'll write on the receipt, like, talked about possible partnership with Joe Schmo. And so, you know, again, it's great if you've got an agenda and then you've got a babysitter so that you can go and do these things.
Today I want to talk about part of our rental portfolio and some of the evictions we've had. I think we had like a few evictions. We have a few tenant turnovers that we're dealing with right now.
Yeah, they're late tenant
payments.
And so, you know, these tenants, we've sort of given them many grace periods, and we're like, okay, we have to fire a shot across their bow of eviction, which is annoying because I have to pay the lawyer for that in New Jersey. But you know, we just have to talk about how far we're going to take it. Are we really willing to evict them because they're always late? So we have to go over their payment history and see is it worth getting a new tenant?
You know, a lot of these meetings that we end up having, whether it's a business lunch or otherwise, we end up coming up with a lot of great ideas for the company. I think it's so important as a business owner to be able to sit down and have these meetings away from the kids, away from the office, where you can brainstorm big ideas and go over big speed bumps.
I wondered how that would look. You're like Wayne's World.
And you've got to make sure you're doing this all above board too, because the IRS will come down on you if you're not meticulous in your Holy smokes. What the hell's going on?
That was like the Matrix. This woman just went roller skating by in this plunging tank top. And couldn't finish the sentence.
I couldn't even finish the sentence. I was like, is that real? Holy smokes. But in my defense, there was like a guy doing something to her. Like he pushed her, like in jest.
I don't think that happened.
Did you see that?
No. She just had like really low cut flopping cleavage and was roller skating.
It's like that Seinfeld episode. You just get a glimpse of it and you look away.
I saw it. I'm like, he's not gonna be able to finish that sentence. And you were like, blah 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 blah.
No, I was looking at the camera.
Right.
No, we're not allowed to park here. This says Justice of the Peace parking. We are not Justice of the Peace.
But you should go to church after that.
Good thing there's churches all over here. Indian food. I've been waiting for this place for a few weeks now. What are you gonna get?
I want something spicy. They have mushroom matar, it's my favorite.
Big piece of garlic naan.
Looks like a spaceship.
Butter chicken.
It's a little bit spicy. You can more spicy? I will separate, okay?
I can handle the spicy.
Yes, separate?
Yes.
Okay.
There's the three properties in New Jersey. The tenants are late. Two of them say that they're getting assistance from different groups, so it's not Section 8. The Section 8 tenants, that's coming along just dandy. That one's fine. But there's two of them, like there's the veteran group and then some other, I'm not exactly sure what the group is. And those groups are always late. And usually if you file an eviction, the groups all of a sudden get their paperwork in order and pay you. So we're gonna have to do that. Now, for two of them.
I mean, my question on that is, I hate this sort of stop and start with these eviction processes, you know. So it's like we go through this little dance. Sometimes it works. Most of the time it doesn't. So we kind of do this little dance for a little while about, you know, threatening this eviction. I don't like it.
Expensive because
It's expensive.
the lawyer charges us for it.
Yeah.
Clayton,
What?
this is a working lunch.
Working lunch. I'm allowed to work and drink a good Super Bock. The kids are in summer camp.
I once had a boss that would not pay for alcohol on your itemized receipts, so you had to give them itemized receipts.
But your boss sucked. I'm the boss, so I will pay for alcohol at a working lunch. Because dealing with evictions, dealing with all this stuff, you need to drink sometimes.
Not for employees, though.
Yeah, you're not allowed to drink, just me. We've got to come up with a resolution for these properties and whether or not we're going to do an eviction on them. I think, have we had any success in these properties before?
For these ones, when we file an eviction, it's more of a shot against the bow than anything else. And we've had it twice where that tenant makes it up, or the rental assistance group then gets on their toes and pays it. So it does help, and sometimes they also will pay the legal fees for getting them to pay the rent. So that helps. I think we should just do it.
Big piece of garlic naan.
Looks like a spaceship.
Butter chicken.
It's a little bit spicy. You
I
can more
see that.
spicy? I will separate, okay?
I can handle the spicy.
Yes, separate?
Yes.
Okay.
We had a repair order on one of our Michigan properties too, right?
No, this one was in Indiana. So this one, the tenant, she's pregnant and she's about to give birth. So she didn't report it to the property manager. She called the city. So then we got this long list of violations, and I called the property manager and I was like, why is she not telling you this? Why is this the first I've learned about it? And he was like, I'm not sure, let me call her. So we did 2 rounds of repairs and made the property look nice now. And so I called him and I was like, please ask her if she's satisfied now, because if she's pregnant, she's got a new baby coming. I want to make sure she's comfortable there, that there's not going to be anything else that she calls into the city, because that's expensive, you know, to do that. Like, I'd rather do them on my own schedule than to be, sorry, I'm kicking the table because I'm like, than to get these notices and then the city gives you until a certain day. So he called her. She did not call him back. And then yesterday I got another list of stuff to do from the city. So I'm so frustrated with that because he has left her messages. So anyway, we'll do it, but you know, it's frustrating. That one's frustrating. There's nothing we can do except make it right. I need that property to be in good shape anyway, whether she leaves or not. And you know, I know what it's like to have a new baby at home. I don't want her to have to deal with jammed windows or any, you know, peeling paint on the walls or things like that when the baby starts to crawl. So what do you think about that?
I mean, this is why we have a property manager. But I guess what irritates me on that is that sometimes tenants, it's almost like tattletale. It's like call the city before you actually call the property management company, which will deal with it in a timely fashion.
Before this company, we had a property manager that was not on the up and up. and didn't take good care of her. So maybe she thinks that's the only way. I don't know, is it okay for us to call her and say, lady, I'm doing the best I can. I want you to have a nice house for when you bring home your new baby. Can we just, like, you give it to me, I will get it fixed. You don't have to keep, like, going around your elbow to get to your backside. Just give it to me straight. What do you think?
I have a big rule against calling tenants. So I don't know if you want to call this tenant, but I mean, you could. You just open up a can of worms. I mean, but
None of this is a reason to evict her, right? She pays her rent, but she's a pain in the butt because she wasn't treated well before. I don't know, right? And I just want to, maybe I'll send her a telepathic message. Like, I'm going to take care of you. Stop poking me with the same violations. Just ask me. You can see that I've been doing everything you asked for the last 3 months. You gotta sit up, so there's more space. I ate everything. I left no stone unturned. Business card.
Shall I?
See? I don't have a pen in my tiny little purse, so I'll have to write on this that we spoke about which houses, and I usually do put the addresses on here, and then I will snap a picture later. I like to use Scannable with that and put it in a Dropbox so that I get a clean scan, because I do not like to use my documents that's just like a picture of a receipt that's then a JPEG. That bugs me. I want a proper PDF, so I'll scan it. But for now, I just have to make sure. I'm gonna use this one, which had our itemized things, so it's pretty clear that I'm eating for 2 people, right? There's no kids' meals on here. There is liquor, but the IRS doesn't say you can't write off liquor, so we're all good.
in fairness, it's not liquor. It's one beer, one cerveza. Por favor. That was a successful business lunch. We figured out what we're gonna do on multiple properties, multiple renovations. It's a good lunch.